Hi everyone, this is Sharon. Today I am here to share with you my latest Christmas journal. This is one that I had planned out, probably a month, 2 months ago. I knew I wanted to use the two new Christmas kits from Ruby and Pearl, Christmas Morning and Star Shining Bright. So those were the two main kits that I used for this. But when Heather started her series on the Lady of the House Folio, I decided that somehow I had to incorporate that concept into this journal, and so that's what I did. So you'll see it's going to be a combination of a folio and journal inside. I've tied it up with some gold silk sari ribbon for my closure. I just added a little piece of jewelry on there for some pretty bling. And then, since I went with the Lady of the House planning journal concept, I clipped on a few things to the front cover that I thought the Lady of the House might want to use as inspiration for decorating her house for the holidays. So I've got some embossed paper. I've got an antique sampler piece of some, it's like a metallic trim. There are two pieces on this side and a couple pieces on this side. And then I have this book page with this floral pattern embossed on there. And for my book cover, I use this really pretty green cloth cover. It's got kind of an orangey red medallion on the front. It's got some embossing on the spine, really pretty. And then the back is plain green and it's in quite nice shape. And then on the back, I've hung two of these handmade ornaments that the Lady of the House made with her children. These were some extras that I couldn't fit inside, so I just attached them with a chain on the back here. And those can be moved around, or they can be brought to the front as well, however you want to use them. So what I did for the contents was I made my folios and attached them to the front and back cover, and then the journaling part is in the middle of the piece. So on this front cover, I've got this piece that flips out, and I did make that from a file folder and attached it to the cover. And then around on the spine side of it, I just covered that with some coffee dyed cheesecloth and some German book page to kind of finish off the edge. So in the front here, I've got a double pocket. So this back pocket, I've got some writing paper where you can make out some lists. I've got some tickets. And then I did a little bit of decorative stitching along the back side of that pocket. And then in the front, there's another pocket. And I absolutely love this floral print from the Christmas Morning collection. I think that's really pretty. And I've got a tab on here. I just covered that with some music paper. And then going on inside, on this flap, I've clipped a number of things. This is a Christmas postcard that I imagine she got from a relative or friend. And then I have this floating pocket piece, and I just put in a couple of extra pieces of paper. This is made from a vintage envelope, so I added this pocket with some trim on there. And then on the inside, I kept the envelope open on two sides, so you could put quite a few papers inside there. I've just got this one in there right now with some writing space on the back. And then on the back side, there's another pocket. And in there, again, I just tucked some papers and this glassine envelope that has some gift tags in there. So those all just get clipped onto this side. So this back side has some of the Christmas papers from one of the kits. And then I've got this pocket here that I trimmed with some lace. Another tab covered with music paper on the inside. And then on the back of this whole folio piece, again, I've got some of that German book page, which I really like how that kind of sets it off and just backs it nicely. And then in this pocket, I've just, again, got a few pieces of some Christmas images. And those can be used for writing. And then, again, taking inspiration from Heather, I added a few things in here that the lady of the house might want to use for planning wardrobes and outfits. So she has this sample card, and I just added some fabrics on here, a little label. This is an actual feather on the top. And then on the back side, I've got a couple of belly bands with some sample button images on there. And then behind there, I've tucked a few images that I thought she maybe clipped out of a magazine just to get some inspiration for outfits. And again, these can be used as journaling pieces on the back. Here's the other one. And this whole card is backed with a vintage time card. So I've got that clip there, and then in these belly bands, I've used some old tapestry fabric for those. And I've just clipped this little piece of paper with some coupons, imagining that maybe they would be used to buy some Christmas presents. I've got a sewing pattern in here. And then I've got this card, a rush order form, that again could be used for lists and things. And then this beautiful book cover image on the back. I love that. So just tuck all of those things in there. And then we'll close that up and move on into the journaling part of it. So I backed the spine with this vintage French fabric, and I covered it up. It was on the back side, but there was some French writing on it, and I thought that was kind of neat. It's all hidden in there now, but I know it's in there, and hopefully the new owner now will know it's in there as well. So here's some of the journal pages from some of the Christmas kits, and I just did a little metallic embellishment on there. Here I added a wax seal, and I embedded a little piece of crocheted flower into that wax seal. This side, this book page is from an antique music sheet, and then I clipped on this journaling card that is actually made from a piece of old wallpaper, and then I just put this image on the front. Lots of room to write in there. On this side of the page, I created a side tuck, trimmed it up again with some lace and some of the Tim Holtz fabric tape. And then in there, I inserted this book page from a vintage book I have. It's a Currier and Ives book, so it's got a lot of their prints on these pages. And here are some nice winter scenes. On this page, I clipped this antique postcard. Whoops, upside down. And then I used these lace images too from one of Heather's kits for the writing pages. And I really like how they go with the Christmas kits. Here is a piece of vintage Christmas wrapping paper, and I doubled it up to create a really large pocket. So in there you can stuff a lot of receipts and other papers, and I will put something of a surprise in there. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in there yet, but I will fill that before I send this journal out. This page is a vintage envelope. I added this pretty New Zealand stamp on there. It's a Christmas stamp. And then on this side, I created a top tuck with this tulle. It's dotted, and it's kind of almost a mocha color, I would say. And in there, I tucked this vintage Christmas card. And then on this side of the page, I've got just a little bit of embellishment with some sparkly washi tape and some glitter. And then I created this little fabric top tuck here. Here I use this rather large French Christmas stamp, and that can actually be used as a tuck spot. And I've got this pretty doily in here. This is an antique ledger sheet as the page. And then on this side, I attached a strip of linen and just embellished it a little bit with that tapestry fabric again, and left the side open so that it can be used as a tuck spot. And then in there, I have this little journaling spot with a little place to tuck this card. That wraps on the back, and there's another little pocket on the back side. Here I added some lace and a wax seal, a little bit of trim on there. And then on this page, I've got these two pockets I made from this satin material, and then I just embellished them a little bit with some cheesecloth and some velvet fabric on each one. And in this one, oh, also on the top, I did some stenciling with some stencil paste. I love that pattern on there. And then in this pocket, I've got an antique French letter, quite delicate. And let's see if we can get a year on that, 1865. And then on this side, I've got an old French postcard and this little card that I made. On this page, I just added this crocheted trim to the side. Maybe it's tatting. I'm not sure. I think it is tatting, actually. And then on this side, it's the other side of that ledger paper, and I just folded that over because it was quite a large piece. Reinforced the folds with some washi tape. And in there, I just tucked this vintage greeting card. It says, "To my husband." I back that with some Christmas embossed paper. On this page, I clipped on this little bundle of paper, and I just cinched it with this little wrap on there. And then I've got this bride in the corner, so these are actually attached. And then that opens up and is kind of a little holding spot. Lost my paper in there. I just tucked in this old German book page. This is what it looks like opened on this side, and then the back side. Here's one more that I had tucked in the back. On this page, I've tucked on this handmade Christmas tag. Some room to write on the back of that one. And then here I just took a couple of old, these are digitals, vintage receipts, and just tucked them in there. I did a little stenciling on that envelope for the page. And then on this side, I've got another tuck spot on the top there. Here, I've got another one of those big, huge pockets, so I will put something in there, and then I just embellish this one a little bit with some embossed paper. And then over on this page, I've got an antique piece of trim that I used as a little shallow pocket. And in there, I tucked a few old pieces. This is a piece of old Victorian scrap from the 1880s. It still has this little tag on there yet. It says L&B 3494. And then I've just got a couple little snippets from an old envelope and this French book page. Oops. Tuck those all back in there. Okay, and then on this page, I've got a little flip here, and I've embellished that with a ruffle that's made from some sewing pattern paper. I imagine the lady of the house is very thrifty, and she will decorate with whatever she happens to have around the house. And in there, I've got this journaling spot. I absolutely love this pattern paper from one of the Christmas bundles. And so I just embellished that a little bit. And on the inside, I did some stenciling, and it's got a lot of room to write in there. A little tab on this page. And then here's the back cover with the folio piece on this side. So I've got this pretty green paper that I backed on this side of it. And then I created these half circle pockets. And in there I put the other two Christmas ornaments that were made. And I just imagined she loves birds, so there are a lot of bird ones. And they will hang these on their tree at Christmas time. Then this flips out. And in here, I've got on this side some receipts and budget sheets and things that would be used for keeping track of all the expenses at Christmas time. So this one I made into a trifold. I just folded it over 3 times. This is an antique ledger page from, looks like 1905. I just pulled a December 23rd date from what I had. And in there, I tuck this antique postcard that's for Christmas. And then behind there, I love this image again from one of the Christmas kits. And then I've got these 2 digital check images that can be used for journaling sheets. On this side of the page, I've tucked in a number of things. Here I've got a vintage holy card and this image. I imagine that the lady of the house is just saving these 2 because they remind her of people she will not be able to be with this year. And then this is just a little sheet that I tucked in there. It's a menu. So I thought maybe Our Lady went to one of her favorite places and just took one of the menus so that she could plan out her own. And this is a piece of antique French fabric that she intends to use as a tablecloth on her table. And then in the back, I backed it with this old image that has wine and ale and beer measurements. This could still, I lightened it up so it could be used for writing on the back as well. And then I use this beautiful gold trim, and I just love the way that looks against this pink paper. This is a trim that I got from Roxy Creations. So I created a couple of belly bands there to put these items in. So that is my Christmas journal / Lady of the House planner. I really believe this could work quite well as a planner for Christmas or a December daily. The front and back folios could be used for a lot of the planning and maybe some of the journal pages. And I imagine the journaling pages could also be used as a December daily for memory keeping or recording events from the Christmas season. So I will be posting this in my Etsy shop tomorrow. I've got the time listed down below. I hope you enjoyed that flip through. If I don't post another video before Christmas, I really do wish everyone a Merry Christmas. It is my hope that I will have maybe 1 or 2, but we'll see how that goes. So until next time, bye-bye.